Good evening, AGS crew. All right, coming at you live, probably for the only time this season. Give me a second to make sure the live stream is actually working. All right, it looks like it is. Okay, so I wanted to do a live recording this time around, just to make sure there's no funny business, walk you through the randomization process and how I'm selecting these things, and just to make sure that there's some transparency there for you. So the first thing that we'll do tonight is randomize the draft order. So I am going to do that just in Sleeper. So I will open up the draft settings and click randomize. Easy as that. Okay, so this is the draft order this year. It looks like Nick's going to go first. I will get second. And keep in mind, this is an auction draft, so the draft order doesn't matter too much. There's some strategy involved with how you nominate players, but you can get anybody you'd like in an auction draft. So the order isn't the end-all, be-all, but it is nice to go up near the top anyway. Sorry, Jason, but I don't know, karma or something? Do something bad this summer? Okay, so that is the draft order. The next thing that I wanted to randomize is the divisions, and then I'll do the schedule last. So I don't trust Sleeper to do these things well in a nice random fashion, so I built out my own spreadsheet in Excel to do this. I'll walk you through it quickly. The divisions are pretty easy. I took all 12 teams, and I am picking a random number in Excel using the random function. If I recalculate the spreadsheet, these all change, which you can see. And then I just calculate the rank of these numbers. So I just put them in order, and then the ranks 1 through 3 will be the first division, 4 through 6 will be the second division, and so on. So you can see that rank 1, 2, and 3, Jason, Matt, and Brad would be the first division, 4, 6, and 5, Jeff, Steve, and Dalton are going to be the second division, and so on. All right, so I'm going to click the recalculate button a few more times. Let's do 3 times and stop there. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so these are going to be the divisions for this year. According to the rulebook, we do shuffle the divisions every year, so it's just a one-year thing, but this is going to be the order. All right, so we have Todd, Josh, and Taro is going to be in the Anchorman division. I went with a theme here. Steve, Brad, and Jeff will be Ricky, Bobby. Dalton, Jason, and Scott, Old School. And Matt, Nick, and Mike, me, Wedding Crashers. I did test this was random, by the way, so you'll see over here this test randomness. I ran 1,000 iterations of this and made sure that it came out to about 25% in each division. So that worked, and I will post this in Discord and also change it all in Sleeper to make sure it lines up with this. Okay, lastly, the schedule. This is a little bit more complicated. So I came up with this schedule. So Division 1, teams 1 through 3, these are just random labels. The first 3 weeks are going to be divisional rounds. So again, we play our division rivals twice a season and everybody else once. So that gives us the 13 games. So the first 3 weeks, you will play your first divisional matchup. The last 3 weeks, you'll play your second divisional matchup. It's nice to have a little extra importance on the last 3 weeks of the season, and then in between, you'll do the other matchups, the other 7 matchups. Is it 7? No, it should be 9. I'm counting wrong for some reason. All right, ignore me. Okay, so for example, Team 1 will play, in Week 1, Team 1 is going to play against Team 2. In Week 2, Team 1 is going to play against Team 3. In Week 3, they will have to do an interdivisional matchup, so it'll be Team 4. And then, again, in the second divisional matchups later on here, it'll be Team 1 plays against Team 2 and 3 again, and then another interdivisional matchup. And then the remaining weeks, you have the additional remaining interdivisional matchups here. And I did do the math on the side here to make sure Team 1 is playing against Team 2 and 3 twice, and the rest of the teams once, and so on and so forth. The second part of this assigns divisions randomly, so Anchorman, Ricky Bobby, Old School, and Wedding Crashers will get assigned randomly to divisions 1, 2, and 3, and 4 in this schedule. And then once that assignment happens, the teams within that division are also randomized. So Todd, Josh, and Taro are in the Anchorman division, and when I recalculate the spreadsheet, Anchorman could be any of the divisions, so you'll see that the division changes. But then the number within that division also changes. So once this is randomized, these team assignments then, based on this schedule, create what our regular season schedule is going to look like. So when I recalculate the spreadsheet, you'll see that there are a whole bunch of changes that happen. This whole thing recalculates, and this is how the schedule gets set. I did also test that this is random. It's a little bit more complicated than the divisions. You'll have to trust me, or I can share the spreadsheet if somebody wants to look through it more. But I ran 1,000 iterations. I did this for each of the teams to make sure it looks random, but I had to do one team at a time. And what it shows is in the first 3 weeks, you have a very high chance of playing your divisional opponents, and you have a very low chance of playing one of the interdivisional opponents. In weeks 4 through 9, you have an equal chance, roughly equal, so about 11% chance of playing any of your interdivisional opponents. And then in the last 3 weeks, you have a high chance of, again, playing your divisional rivals, and then a very low chance of playing your interdivisional matchups. And in this scenario, I was looking at Jason's team here, which is, he does not play himself ever, so that checked out too. Anyway, so this does completely randomize the schedule. I will calculate it a bunch of times, but you'll see this is the final output here. So before I randomize it again, just to walk through it. So for example, Todd in week 1 will play Nick, in week 2 will play Taro, week 3 will play Josh. But I'm going to randomize it a bunch more times. So let's do maybe 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so the schedule is now set. I'm going to copy and paste this below, so that way it locks it in. And this is going to be your schedule. Again, I will post this in Discord. I'll send it out via email as well. But I wanted to walk through it live so that way you knew I wasn't bringing anything or doing anything weird with the randomness. This will be your schedule for the year. All right, last order of business. I know we've been talking about how the computers have been doing a bad job of the mock drafts. And I think one way to get around that is maybe doing a live draft with some friends. So I'm going to propose that we do a live mock draft with as many people who are interested. Computers will fill out the rest of the slots, but I will organize a mock draft closer to when our actual draft is, maybe just a weeknight. It'll go faster online and not be a full 4-hour thing like it'll be on the actual draft, but I'll go ahead and get that set up. And so if you're interested, we'll do a live mock draft with a handful of us. All right, that is all that I have for you today. I will talk to you all soon, and I'm excited. Hope you guys are too.